All right, welcome back to the Planet Paintball podcast brought to you by 1023 Sportswear and Southwest Paintball in Bayfield, Colorado. I got Chino with me, who's going to be playing with the farm coming up here, right?
Yeah,
MSXL. How you doing, man?
good. Just, honestly took a little break from like 2 months, I guess. Had some situations and just getting back to it, putting in some work. Got picked up. I know Paul Renfro up there. I played with him at Cup with Bear Ridge 10 man. Reached out to
Okay.
him and he just basically had me a spot within like the same day pretty much.
Dude, that's awesome. It's always, that's what Tin Man is really good for, is networking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you think of Tin Man Electric at Cup?
I liked it, it was Sunday ball, so we didn't really do what we expected during X ball, and
Mm-hmm.
I played 10-man Mech, so I was expecting it to be kind of like it, but then find out it's 10-man X ball electronic, and it was just like, I'm an X ball junkie anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody says like most people start to around my age start to like get into like mechanical and all that stuff. I still personally, I think I can still run with the best of them, and in my division at least. And when I found out that it was 10-man X ball, I just got super excited, had a lot of fun.
Nice. So did you get to play Tin Man Mechanical or
I have played 10-man
just the
mechanical. Yeah, I
okay?
have. I played one for the WCPL down at Panhandle
Nice.
Paintball last year. Uh, had a lot of fun. Actually placed. I guess you could say we placed third, but we kind of got cheated out of our win to be playing in the finals.
Mm,
And then
okay.
apparently like towards the end of the season when they went back and like looked at it, I guess they actually put it as we placed second, but hey, whatever. I went down there, had fun, it was a blast no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Play a lot of X ball still, but I love the mechanical stuff. So
Oh, I love it.
it's a good time. It's different, right? Like
Yeah.
it's just, X ball's really good for hyper competitive. Not that Tin Man can't be or mechanical can't be, but it's just a different vibe for
For
sure.
sure, for sure.
You got any Tin Man lined up or mechanical lined up for this year?
I was gonna play at the one in Tallapoosa,
Mm-hmm.
but ended up not being around, not being available.
Mm-hmm.
I know the team that I play with is kind of like a pickup team, so it's not like always a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, right now I'm just trying to honestly just focus on X ball. I'm trying to focus on MSXL first. That'll be my first MSXL. I come from NGXL, and then if the cards play correctly, I'll probably try to make Cincinnati for NXL,
Okay.
and then I definitely plan on playing Cup. So just kind of see where it
Nice.
takes me right now for the season.
Well, NGXL is a great league, and I think you'll like the MSXL too. I think they're very comparable. So I got to play my first one last year, and
Really?
yeah, no complaints except for the distance. Like we went to Kentucky, so it was, it's a trip from South Carolina.
Yeah.
But let's get into it, man. How did you find paintball?
So I actually, it's not like everybody else who's like been playing their whole life. I was married, kind of going through a divorce right now, but my bachelor party, we went and played paintball at PBA and just absolutely fell in love with it. Had none of my own gear, nothing, got rentals, just fell in love with it. Me and a buddy, we talked about playing a couple times, buying gear. We didn't. I'd say probably like 6 months later, we were just like talking one week. We were like, let's go play paintball this weekend. Went, got rental gear again, decided on Monday that we are going to go out and just buy our gear, buy good guns, whatever. And actually went down to Georgia Paintball before I knew about the BST pages or like anything, just plugged in anywhere. Went down to Georgia Paintball and bought a axe, actually, one of those the 2.0. Um and it actually had a leak when I brought it home and like was trying to
Out
pull
of
it.
the box?
Well, I bought it used. I bought it off the used wall. I bought a
Okay.
whole setup off the used wall and it actually leaked. So I went back the next day and ended up trading it in for Ether 2. Got the Ether
Okay.
2, ran with that for like a little bit. We ended up buying a membership to PBA, went like once or twice. And some guy was like, "Hey, you should check out Bear Ridge," because I always saw the hyperball course that they had at PBA, but nobody ever played on it at the time, I guess. When they said they told me about Bear Ridge, I reached out to Josh one day, and he told me to come up there. I did a little job for him, and then I just started playing X ball. And next thing you know, I was in the D6 league, just trying to be good. I started the season, I think not last year, but the year before, playing as Bear Ridge Grizzlies. It was just a throw together team, like me and my friends. Thought
Mhm.
we were good, thought we were going to get out there and just do great. Ended up absolutely terrible, just awful. Then I actually hurt myself after like the second event. So I took the rest of the season off and basically just watched film like all the rest of the year. Watched a bunch of the pro matches, watched individuals, started following people who make content on it, just like watching and watching and learning the game. Came back last year for a D6 season again because I didn't finish, so I still had some points. Some would say I was sandbagging a little bit, but like really, the team didn't do well, so I can't agree that we sandbagged.
Yeah.
But I ended up grinding like every day last year, or coming up to the season start last year. I got grinded every weekend, just going out practicing. I was doing the drills, I was doing the Kyle Berry clinics, I was doing all of it just to try to get better and learn the game. And then I'd say probably the second event of last season, it started really, really clicking. Like
Okay.
I started being able to put everything into motion the way I would watch other people thinking it, like hearing out the game, just being able to move, I guess, more paintball moves instead of like looking sloppy out there.
Mhm.
We made the playoffs our second in D6, our second event, and ended up actually doing fairly well against Birmingham Rising. And then I don't know, we just blew it. Penalties, my teammates got some penalties, we don't gotta talk about that much.
Mhm.
But ended up thinking we were gonna win out maybe, but just I don't know, things weren't clicking. A lot of people quit on the team after that event. We went through coaching changes, like just we were kind of like a self-ran D6 team under Taylor, but Taylor still like oversaw everything.
Mhm.
But we I kind of just took the rest of the season to just get better individually because I've always heard like D6, D5, and D4 are all about like coming of as an individual player, and then like you
Mhm.
really got to hunker down on your team chemistry, like D3, D2, semi-pro and up, obviously. So I just kind of like took the rest of the season to like really just practice and continue to grind. Ended up getting invited by the Barbies to go play Texas last year on the D5 line. Went,
Okay.
I ended up getting like I hurt. I don't know, like I was dehydrated, started cramping, so like ended up sitting a couple points in like a match towards the end. But we didn't do terrible, but we didn't do as expected either. And truth be told, I think if we ran the same line again, we would probably win Texas last year. But I got picked up by the leftovers to play 3-man D5 as well last year while I was in Texas, and
Okay.
made the playoffs again. They like the format was a little weird. I didn't understand the format as well as I do like just straight X ball rules. So we
Mhm.
thought we won on like that we beat them faster than nah, it's okay. Sorry about that.
You're good.
We thought we won because we beat the other team quicker than they beat us in the playoffs in the
Mhm.
first round. So 2 out of 3 or whatever. So I walked away to go watch what was BR Factory and Semi Pro. I walked away to go watch them. And turns out that they wanted us to 1v1. Someone came running up and got them, like, said we had to 1v1. So I wasn't there for that. I didn't even get to 1v1, but ended up going to the second 1v1. And, you know, shout out Colin. I still think he's a better player. He just got caught looking over the top. Just, it's
Mhm.
paintball, you know what I mean? It happens. And
Yeah.
then played Cup D5 X ball. Ended up actually getting rostered for the last NGXL on a D5 on the Afterlife D5 line as well.
Okay.
Played Cup with the Barbies again, and yeah, now didn't do as well as we wanted, but it is what it is. And then spent the whole off
Mhm.
season grinding, just getting better and better and continuously just building and building. And then now here I am, just honestly kind of a free agent for NGXL for sure. But it is what it is. I realized that when I became available, everybody was rostered already. So
Yeah.
still hope to play
Yeah.
the third event, but it is what it is.
Well, and here's the thing with PayPal. By the second event, someone's falling off on a squad. Like it's going to happen, so that there's always spots opening up for sure. So you're gonna play the MXL with the farm. What division?
D4.
Okay, nice. So, well, did you get to play the NGXL D4,
I did
or is this
not.
your first foray into it?
This will be my first D4 tournament. I actually, because I played so much last year, I actually completely skipped the possibility to be able to play a D5 season as a D5 rank.
Okay.
It's not for me or anything, just accumulating points.
Yeah.
But I was gonna play as a drop. I'm open to play as a drop on a D5 team. I think it would be fun more than super competitive. But I am looking forward to playing D4 and playing with guys who are substantially better than a lot of the D5 players, just because it's only going to make me better. It'll help me learn the game for sure more. So I'm excited.
Nice. Well, welcome to the D4 squad, I guess. Yeah. That's so you played so many events, like you just ranked out a D5 essentially
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
For sure.
So how was it? How was it playing with the Barbies last year?
Oh, it was
Because they
great.
had a really good year.
Well, I didn't get to play with them in NGXL, so I only got to
Okay.
play with them at the national events. And the first one we went to in Texas, they didn't play any national events actually until Texas, I think. Or maybe they did,
Yeah.
I can't really remember. But we ended up playing under BR Factory D5 or whatever.
Okay.
But then when we went to Cup, it was BR Barbies in D5. And the squad when we went to Cup was actually completely different than the squad that went to Texas. So it was cool, with the exception of like Kristen, Melissa. I can't remember. And I think Jess might have played in Texas. I can't remember. But I know she didn't play at Cup. They didn't come to Cup. But other than that, it was like completely different. There was Blake McIntyre was the only one who was the same one. So I guess me, Blake, Kristen, and Melissa were the only ones who carried over.
Okay. Did Jess not play Cup? I thought she played Cup with her bummed leg.
No, that was Melissa.
That was Melissa.
Ooh. Hey, she crushed it.
My bad, girls.
Actually, I think she had just hurt her foot, so maybe she didn't even actually play Texas.
Okay, so that might have been like
was
right
there.
when she heard it.
She coached some of it when Danny was coaching D4. So she was there though, for sure.
So what's been the most memorable experience in paintball so far for you?
Probably just being able to go to all the two NXL events that I've been to thus far. They were just so much fun, just in general. Like win or lose, they're absolutely a blast to go to. And then also like making friends with like people in completely different areas. And like you go to an NXL event, met them one time, see them at the next one, boom, you guys are like drinking beer together at the tank. You know what I mean? Like, like y'all have known each other forever. Probably just like the camaraderie. That's valuable to me.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that's why a lot of people stick around outside of like the sport is fun, right? But like it also kind of bonds everyone together.
Yeah.
So you did clinics and stuff. What do you think was like the most valuable thing you did last year?
Definitely
Like from a training perspective.
the two Kyle Berry clinics for sure. Those one taught me that my conditioning was not there, so I had since like started work on conditioning a little bit, and the ability to slide properly, like hip slide and stuff properly, and then the snap shooting. That was absolutely probably the most valuable pieces that I learned from the clinics.
What about the snap shooting did he like unlock for you?
The 18 drill for sure. That was huge. That was something that I never really practiced. And then just the whole like he taught us this thing where like if you put the phone on the other side or whatever. You could have a teammate go lay down on the other side, and it'll show you where you're peaking, like what part of your body they can see first.
Okay.
Just being very tight like, when I snap, I'm very, like, conscious of that I need to, like, lean and not really, like that my legs are planted, like, they don't need to move. I see a lot of people, like, snap shooting with their legs, and, like, since the clinics, like, I realized, like, that's not exactly, like, in my opinion, the best, like, form, I guess you would say. So, like,
Yeah.
well, like, leaning out and then, like, basically shooting with your hip, moving with your hip more, and that's
Mhm.
that's that's really what was the most valuable to me. Left hand shooting too. Obviously, I wasn't like the greatest, but like now I feel like I'm probably actually better with my left than my right because I hyper fixated on snap shooting with my left. So
Mhm. Yeah. When I first started shooting left-handed, like, I found I could aim better almost, but I was way slower. Oh, and it's also like one of those things like you gotta work on it like all the time. Like if that's not your dominant hand, like
yeah,
if you screw up and go out and play like for fun a couple times and don't use your left hand, like the next time you're out there for like practice, like that left hand's a little rusty.
yeah, for sure.
And the movie things are really good. I saw something today. They were like practicing shooting off the break, and the one guy was like moving his whole body, and the other guy was very stationary. And the stationary guy is the one hitting the target, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's that 18 drill? I hadn't heard of that.
So it's three out of the top right, three out of like mid right. But like the proper 18 drill obviously is you got to hit them all without missing. If you miss, you go back and
Okay.
start over. But originally it was just trying to hit the target three times, not worrying about missing because obviously like I'm was still like basically beginning, so like I was gonna
Hmm.
miss it a good bit. But now I try to really hone in on getting the 18 within 25 shots. I give myself 25 shots sometimes. Depends on like how much paint I have. Because if you're gonna really try to hit the 18 nonstop, you're gonna blow through paint for the most part.
Hmm.
But three out of the top right or left, whichever side you start, I guess, and then three mid left, three low left. Then you go over three high right, three mid right, three low right at the
Okay.
same time. So that's it's the 18 in a nutshell.
Nice.
Ideally,
So
hit it,
when you
hit it.
do you start on the left? Or?
Actually switch it up. I switch it up sometimes. I
Okay.
also like to like if I start high right, I like to start like mid left, like my
Okay.
second round, and then like I like to zigzag down sometimes and then zigzag back up, just because I feel like it's after a while you'll get used to like just starting out of the right every single time, pow pow pow. By the time you get to the left,
Hmm.
you're a little tired. But if you like switch it up constantly, then like you'll be equally as tired getting to the last three versus
Yeah.
quick start, which that's when it
No, I feel
matters.
like that also like emulates the game too, right?
Yeah,
You need to be able to go from high right to bottom right,
yeah,
and then back or back to mid left or whatever.
gotta stay
Yeah, so
unpredictable.
I like that drill. Yep. Yeah, you get in a pattern, you get screwed really quick by a smart player.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's been your like favorite piece of gear you've gotten?
Favorite gear, at first, I was just into the just, like, grab a mask, like, I don't care what it is. Like, I saw these guys spending, like, so much money on masks, and
Hmm.
I would never spend that much on a mask, like, I'd spend that on a marker before I do that. But, definitely have succumbed to the Pro Flex game. I correlate it with, like, sneakers too, like, I'm a big, like, OG guy, so, like, I, like,
Hmm.
prefer to have the OG stuff. Even with JT, like, releasing all the stuff over and over again, I prefer to still have OG stuff. I finally like my favorite gear is probably my 2 masks that I use regularly, and it's the thins, OG thins with the banana logo and OG bottoms, just and then, of course, my Sacred Vibes straps, gotta represent for the homie.
That's right. His pro debut just a couple weeks back. How like some people spend a lot of time in the D6 D5 zone. And in some sense you've progressed like at a very steady pace. How much of that do you contribute to like the jungle cats and like the Bear Ridge community?
A lot, actually, because, I was just thinking, like, another thing when I went up to the field for the first time and got into the X ball,
Hmm.
Blaine came running up to me like, recognized me immediately, came running up to me, and I was like, "Yo!" He actually like used to cut my hair. I've known him like from a little bit from back in the day and stuff.
Mhm.
Before he probably took paintball very, very serious in the sense of like, this is what I'm gonna do and not get into any trouble. You know what I mean? Not trying to throw him under the bus or anything, but that I would say a big contribution to where I've progressed to does come from just on the weekends playing them. There's a lot of guys you hear up there who are like, don't when the Jungle Cats or whoever, like they get on the box, Kyle Berry, any of them get on the box on the other side, like they don't want to play that point anymore. They're like, oh, we're just gonna get crushed. Me, like
Mhm.
I get even more excited to play against them because I know that one, it's more valuable shooting one of them off the break. Two, it's just gets you better. And three,
Yeah.
I think you develop that like calm, cool collectiveness of being on the field and under pressure way quicker than like if you're constantly running from higher competition.
To me, it's kind of nuts that people like don't want to play the point
Yeah,
because it's like that's at the very least they're gonna expose what you need to work on, right? Even if it's just playing tighter or being a little bit faster or making a better decision where to go off the break.
I agree. I agree for sure. That's probably the most valuable information that I have received up there was, that's the other thing. Like they're all real good guys. Like every single one of them super cool. So like, if they shoot me in a manner where like I could improve on, like they're always like giving pointers, you know what I mean? Like they're always saying like, hey, don't be predictable. You snapped 2 times out of the left, one out of the bottom, went straight back to the top 2 times. So we kind of had a feeling you were going to go to the bottom again. You know what I mean? So they had already put that ball there before I even popped out. And then boom, I'm getting gogged. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, the constructive criticism that they give after they crush you or whatever, that's more valuable than just running and watching, because anybody can see anything from the sideline. It's much easier to critique and see from the sidelines versus like if you're in play and then you die and they come over and say, hey, look, this is where we shot you. This is what you need to do differently. Boom. You can almost like immediately put it into play the next point you get out there. And then what I've come to realize is 9 times out of 10, when they tell me something and then I put it into play against like one of the teams that's not them, it immediately
Hmm.
works.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you play during the week. So are you like shooting in the backyard? Or are you going up to the field? Like,
Yeah. So I kind of do the little target thing at the house, just whenever I have paint, like, right. I haven't done it in the last 2 weeks. I shot all the paint I had
mhm.
last weekend that I went to Bear Ridge, but I usually try to shoot in the yard. Recently made a move, so I don't exactly have as much room now. It's also like kind of got the garden area in the back now too, so like can't really do it here. Also in a townhouse community, so I don't really know how the neighbors would feel here.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I was practicing a lot like snap shooting during the week. It's definitely subsided slightly, but
Hmm.
I try to at least pick up the gun and go to the mirror, go behind like I guess the apex of the door frame in the mirror and try to like, just work on keep the muscle memory down,
Yeah.
on the sides so I'm not cramping up. But that's pretty much the extent of it now.
Yeah. Well, that like all that matters, right? Is snap shooting the most ideal? Yes. But in lieu of it, just spending time with the gun in the hand and being comfortable with it and then doing the mirror thing, it definitely doesn't hurt and it definitely helps. And like we're doing combat yoga, as Matty Marshall likes to say all the time, right? Like
Yeah,
you got to spend some time in those awkward positions because those aren't really
for sure.
natural positions at all to be in. What position you playing these days, man?
I like to consider myself like a hybrid 2 and 1 because I can play both. Some depends on what lines I'm running on, where they send me as a 1 or play the 2. I really play all the positions, but I prefer to play the 2 on the snake side.
Okay.
And then fill into the 1 after, we've identified. I definitely think I'd play the game different as a 2 just because I like to identify everything before I make a move
Hmm.
versus as the 1, you're kind of like you got to rely on your teammates, which is great, but everybody makes mistakes. So, you know, you lose track on a couple pivotal, like say you lose track on their one,
Hmm.
and then next thing you know, you're just getting shot from across the field,
Yeah.
thinking you're in a good position. But definitely prefer the snake side over just about anything else.
Okay. Yeah, the ones kind of, especially the snake one, right? Like a lot of times you're going in blind. There's not a ton of opportunity to even look downfield and see where the other team's going. So I relate to I like the two, so I know where everyone is before I move. So what drew you to the snake side?
Thought it was cool at first, and then started playing the one on the snake side and realized how out of shape I was and realized it's not that cool, It's kind of not fun most of the time. So then went back to the two and ended up starting to have a lot of success in that position. I would say the ability to attack definitely in the center, like if I go to the center or on the Dorito side, like I prefer to play the one in those areas.
Okay.
Definitely the two in the sense of just like you control a lot of the game, I feel like, especially from like let's for instance, like the gator, or like you go to the snake corner, like I feel like you control a lot of the game from there, especially like midpoint.
Hmm.
It's kind of a bunker in an area on the field where like they got to come get you, or they'll catch a lucky like crossfield shot from like the Doritos or something. Like pretty much, you're almost safe playing heads up right there, uh, unless you just get absolutely just crushed on like a one ball or something.
Hmm.
Just the control you have from playing the two on the snake side, like, feel like it's just there's no other feeling in my opinion.
Nice. Yeah. No, I agree with you. There's a lot of control. Like because it's normally like a corner bunker, right? So even if you blow out that side, you can really kind of hang, especially the fields like they've been designing lately. Like you can do a lot from that corner, especially if that side's blown out and you can work that bunker.
I agree.
Shoot
Even if
that.
your one dies on that side, you
Yeah.
can still basically still lock that side of the field down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's what's been interesting to me lately in like a lot of the field designs I've noticed is, traditionally the two needed to move up with the one, right? And stay kind of close. But on some of these fields we've been seeing, the one or the two actually needs to stay back in order to properly support the one. So I don't know. It's just interesting. I don't know if it's the number of bunkers they've created and thus like the further up you get the more crap there is almost, right, blocking you. Hang on, never mind, thought I was having a visitor for a second. But what since you aren't playing, what are your predictions for GFOA event 2?
GFOA or NGXL?
NGXL, sorry. Oh my gosh, my old brain went way back.
I definitely think that I'd like to see Afterlife sweep.
Okay.
Obviously, that's the organization that really like took me in, made me the player I am. I got a lot of respect for them, a lot of appreciation to show towards them. Honestly, just with who I am as a player now, I'd like to see Afterlife sweep, but I do think that Outcast, that team that they're working on, I think that they're looking pretty strong. They might make a run at a podium, especially maybe even the one spot in D4 at least. They're always pretty good. They got some killers on that team.
Yeah, Alex doesn't play around with his roster.
So I would definitely say that I won't predict who's going to win, but I think the people who are going to podium out of D4 is I-75, Afterlife, and Outcast. And
Okay.
as an honorable mention, the Barbies for sure. They
Okay.
got a squad as well. And then in D5, I really truly think that Afterlife's just going to win again. Velocicrampers, they're pretty good. Forgot ATL Fury. I think they might make a good little. I don't know if they played the first one or not, but I think they might make a good little run.
Okay.
They got a good squad, and played with a couple of those guys a couple of times, and they're pretty good. They're not bad by any means. They're definitely a sleeper team.
Nice. So the farm MSXL, is that going to be the Nashville event or?
Yeah,
Okay. So that'll be experience then.
yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Outside of the guy who you contacted, have you played with anyone else on that team?
There's a couple guys from the farm that like come down to Bear Ridge and then also like play in NGXL.
Okay.
I know Philip Wysong. I'm pretty sure he plays out of the farm a good bit. I haven't got to play with him, but practiced with him a lot at Bear Ridge, and he was there. He was D4's D3 drop last year, I believe. So got to get a lot of spins with them at practice. Because when we found out we were playing D5 or whatever in NXL, we practiced with D4.
Okay.
We got to play with all those guys a lot, and I think that really helped as well. But outside of that, man, I don't know anybody up there. I just know that me and Paul are a good fit. We've done the clinics together. We've run a lot of points down at Bear Ridge on the weekend, and then we played cup together on the same line. That's about the extent that I know of the farm.
All right. Well, that'll be an adventure then, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So what, my gosh, I just blanked. I guess I'm having a Monday here. That's awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah. If I could get that fax machine to beat on, that would help. So is Kyle Berry like pretty regularly out at Bear Ridge?
I would say he's there a good bit, or he was last season. I know when he moved over there, I guess, or whatever, from wherever he moved from. I talked to him a few times, like we recognize each other. We say hey to the NXL events and whatnot, but like
Mhm.
it's not somebody who I like just like talk to.
Yeah.
But at the field we chat. He's been there quite a few times last season. Like I said, I had to take a little break, so I don't really know who's been there that much this season. Seen a couple new faces just on posts and stuff.
Mhm.
But from what I understand, he was a regular there last year for a good bit. But other than that, I couldn't really tell you about this season.
So outside of the Jungle Cat guys, who's give me a couple players to watch out for in Georgia?
Definitely just about everybody on the D3 line that they got coming out. Merrick, he's a demon. His brother Ant, definitely those two are absolutely killer together. There's a guy Scott on the D3 team as well who came from Afterlife as well. Only played with him in practices, but from what I hear, he like used to play back in the day, and then he like took a break like everybody, and then now he's like back playing real serious, and he's real good. There's some youngins that are coming up from the D6 even who are like, I think if they stick, they're young enough to be great if they continue to grind like they are. There's a kid, Parker Burns from Afterlife D5. I think he'll probably touch a pro field one day. He's like young, 16 or something.
Okay.
Definitely think he would touch pro field one day. That's his son, Tristan. He's also very young, but an absolute demon. Also a guy who could touch a pro field one day. Outside of that, I'm a real loyal person, so I think everybody who plays out of Bear Ridge is the best in Georgia. You know,
Nice.
Couple guys there's a guy from not the Jungle Cats, but Outcast, Dylan Harrison. He's really really good as well, extremely fast. Quite a few players honestly who are now on that cusp of like about to go to D3. What's the next step after that? Do you play D2 or do you grind another season D2? If they do, they kind of have no choice but to go semi-pro and then pro, win out. But definitely think a lot of those players could get picked up very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. Georgia went from having an okay scene to having a really good scene, and now you guys have, the Afterlife program, the I-75 collective, and the Outcast camp, which are all those camps are like hell bent on being really good.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see what has fostered since Bear Ridge came about, not to throw any shade to anything else that was before it. Mario and Nitro did a great job, but like ever since and maybe it was the absence of Mario and Nitro that like created this, like we didn't realize how good we had it. And so now people aren't taking it for granted anymore.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting to kind of see the revival of Georgia paintball in a way. So at least from the outsider perspective.
Yeah.
What's like your pre-match ritual, man?
I definitely stretch. Stretch huge. Walk the field and just throw in some tunes, just lock in really. I played basketball when I was young, so I've always been into the like listening to music to get pumped up. So that pretty much kind of kind of correlates the same way. Get super pumped up, listen to some good music and stretching for sure.
Nice. So what's on the playlist these days to pump you up?
This is gonna sound super corny, but I'm a big Zach Bryan guy.
Okay.
I listen to a whole lot of Zach Bryan. I know it's not exactly like the most like hype music sometimes,
Hey,
but
if it works, it works.
like throw in a good little Zach Bryan playlist, maybe even a couple of his albums, and just let it rip.
Okay. Nice. Any piece of gear like you gotta have?
Headband,
Headband.
Sacred Vibes headband.
Okay. Is there a particular one, or is it just like all of them are good?
I've had the same. Well, I got one like beginner season, and then it got lost. So I had gotten another one, and that one I've said that I was just gonna never lose, and honestly always wear for the most part. And so just that headband rides with me in every tournament. I've played every single event with it.
Okay. So other important prediction for Bear Ridge event 2, NGXL event 2. Rain or no rain?
I feel like NGXL's gotten away pretty much for the last, maybe even going into last year with no rain. So, it's probably on the radar to rain pretty soon for an event. Hey, and I'm not gonna lie. I know I want to play the second event, but if it's gonna be the wet one, I'm okay.
You're okay sending it out? That's fair.
Definitely, definitely would prefer to not play in the rain. It's fun sometimes. It's cool, but like if I could pick, I choose not to play in the rain.
So where's the after practice like grub spot in Jasper?
So I wouldn't really say that I go and necessarily grub after, but there is a place right there. Like, so the way I go to Bear Ridge, I go up 575
Mm-hmm.
and turn on their, I think it's like Crawley or something, or I don't know, but you can turn on 53, but you go through the four-way and there's this little like breakfast spot. It hasn't always been there. It opened since I've been going,
Okay.
but they have a great fried bologna biscuit in there, honestly.
All right. Very Georgian of them.
Yeah. Super country of me, but it's got the thick bologna, so that's actually what I would get like every Saturday I go up there. They're closed on Sundays, but definitely make a stop there.
That's how you know it's a good spot in the South if it's closed on Sundays, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's just facts.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a mom and pop shop. If they're open on Sunday, it's not the best.
Yeah, it's definitely mom and pop. It's husband and wife in there who run it, and then I guess they got like their in-law or something working up there sometimes too. They're up there, but that's definitely the spot that I like to go to.
Nice. What outside of the Jungle Cats, what teams are you watching in the pro divisions these days?
To be honest with you, I watch Fit. I just like watching. That's who was like big. I mean, you could call me a bandwagon fan, whatever, but that's who was like winning when I started like really watching pro paintball. I
Mhm.
guess got into it like I am now. So I definitely like following PB Fit. When we were in Texas, we actually went to Fit. It was only like 30 minutes away or something. So we actually did a layout practice there the Thursday before our game started. So definitely like watching Fit. I think watching these trades and these signs, like where these teams are like putting money behind them, like a MLB team or an NBA team or a NFL team. I think that's actually kind of cool. And I think that actually would probably help the sport in the long run,
Mhm.
just because you're gonna end up having these teams who like are at the bottom of the pool per se start to find investors. You're going to have them start finding people who want to fund these teams and say, "Hey, we can put X amount of dollars up to bring in this player from here. Let's just make another big three team per se." Like, just in reference to like the Boston Celtics when they
Yeah.
got KG, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Like, so I think that'll start to happen over the next couple years, or at least I'd like to see it happen. You never know. But I would say outside of them, when in Texas, we were in the same hotel as Impact and go down for like little smoke breaks and step outside or whatever. Actually got to talking with one of the coaches. Got pretty cool with him. So definitely would like to see them do well. dynasty just because Kyle Berry be at the field. You know, and when I really got into it, everybody was always like Ryan Greenspan, Ryan Greenspan, Ryan Greenspan. Started watching him, and I was, just like watching him. Still totally different than like watching some of these other pros.
Well, man, we're right about there, and with this thing being so weird tonight, and let's cut it while we got it. So shout out who you want to shout out.
Definitely give a big shout out to Taylor and the whole Afterlife camp. Kristen and Josh, Barbies for sure. They've always been real accommodating. Paul Renfro for sure. Definitely getting me plugged in with the farm. American Ant, those are my dogs. Hayden, Taylor's son. Those are the homies right there. We're all real tight. It's pretty, Blaine for sure, Sacred Vibes. Rest of the Jungle Cats, I guess, whatever. Then that's pretty much, that's about what I got for you.
All right. Cool. Well, you got to hang out for a little bit, but everyone else will see you next time on the Planet Paintball Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the Planet Paintball Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Whether you're out there grinding in the divisional pits or chasing dreams on the pro stage, remember, it's all about the passion, the hustle, and the love for the sport. Until next time, keep grinding, keep growing, and we'll see you back here on the Planet Paintball Podcast